Hare Krishna. Thank you. Syamasundar ki jai, Radha ki jai. संसार दावा नललीधलोका त्रणय कारुण्या घनाघनात्वम् संसार दावा नललीधलोका त्रणय कारुण्या घनाघनात्वम् प्राप्तस्य कल्याणम् गुणार्णवस्य वन्दे गुरो श्री चरणारविन्दा प्राप्तस्य कल्याण गुणार्णवस्य वन्दे गुरो श्री चरणारविन्दा महाप्रभु कीर्तननित्य गीता वादित्र माध्यान मनसौरसेना महाप्रभु की नित्य गीता वादित्र माध्यान मनसौरसेना रोमांचकंपा श्रुतरंग भाजो वंदे गुरो श्री चरणारविन्दा रोमांचकंपा श्रुतरंग भाजो वंदे गुरो श्री चरणारविन्दा श्री विग्रहारा धननित्य नाना श्रृंगार तन्मान हिरमार्जनादो श्री विग्रहारा धननित्य नाना श्रृंगार तन्मान हिरमार्जनादो युक्तस्य भक्तांस शनियुञ्जतोऽपि वन्दे गुरो श्री चरणारविन्दा तस्य भक्तां शनियुञ्जतोऽपि वन्दे गुरो श्री चरणारविन्दा
चतुर्विधाश्री भगवत प्रसाद स्वादान तृप्तान हरिभक्त संघा
चतुर्विधाश्री भगवत प्रसाद स्वादान तृप्तान हरिभक्त संघा
कृत्वैव तृप्तिं भजत सदैव वन्दे गुरो श्री चरणारविन्दा
कृत्वैव तृप्तिं भजत सदैव वन्दे गुरो श्री चरणारविन्दा
श्रीराधिका भवयोरपार माधुर्यलीला गुणरूप नाम्ना
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 प्रतीक्षणात् स्वाधनलोलुपस्य वन्दे गुरो श्री चरणारविन्दा
प्रतीक्षणात् स्वाधनलोलुपस्य वन्दे गुरो श्री चरणारविन्दा
निकुञ्जयुनो अतिकेलिसिद्ध्याय यायालिभिर्युक्तिरपेक्षणीया
निकुञ्जयो नो
तत्रातिदाक्षा दतिवल्लभस्य वन्दे गुरो श्री चरणारविन्दा
तत्रातिदाक्षातिवल्लभस्य वन्दे गुरो श्री चरणारविन्दा
साक्षाद्धरितेन समस्तशास्त्रे उक्तस्तथा वा यतैव साध्वी किन्तु प्रभोर्या प्रिय एवं तस्य वन्दे गुरो श्री चरणारविन्दा
वन्दे गुरो श्री चरणारविन्दा
यस्य प्रसादात् भागवत प्रसादो यस्य प्रसादात् न गति कुतोऽपि
यस्य प्रसादात् भगवत् प्रसादो यस्य प्रसादात् न गति कुतोऽपि
ध्यायं सुवांसस्य यशस्वी सन्ध्या वन्दे गुरो श्री चरणारविन्दा वन्दे गुरो श्री चरणारविन्दा वन्दे गुरो श्री चरणारविन्दा
वन्दे गुरो श्री चरणारविन्दा वन्दे गुरो श्री चरणारविन्दा
नमो ॐ विष्णुपदाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त Swami Niti Namine Namah. Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashatya Deshata Dine Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashatya Deshata Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Srila Prabhupada. Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Srila Prabhupada. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Rama Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare Rama Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna,
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare. Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare. Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Radha, Syamasundar, Radha, Syamasundar, Radhe. Nitai Gora Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Gora Hari Bol.
आज दो दर्शन शिष्य मंदिर डिवाइन ग्रेस अभय चिराग भक्तिवेदांत स्वामी श्री प्रभुपाद की जय आज दो दर्शन शिष्य मंदिर डिवाइन भक्ति सिद्धांत सरस्वती ठाकुर महाराज की अनंत वैष्णव की नाम चरिदास ठाकुर की मेल जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री राधा शिवसनी गौर भक्तगण की राधा कृष्ण गोपीनाथ श्याम सुंदर गिरिधारी हे नाम नाम राधा श्याम सुंदर श्री राधा माधव की श्री गौर निताय की all glories to devotees, all glories to devotees, all glories to Shri Krishna.
Namaste Narasimhaya.
Namaste Narasimhaya.
Namaste Narasimhaya.
Namaste Narasimhaya.
Pralada Lada Daine. Anyakashi Purvakshaha. Shila Tanka Nakalaye. Ita Nasimha Parata Nasimha. Yata Yata Yamitata Narasimha. Bahir Narasimha Hridaye Narasimha Narasimha Marim Sharanam Prapadye Tavakara Kamaravare Nakam Adbhuta Shringam Dalita Hiranyakashipu Tanubringa Keshavadrita Narahari Rupa Jaya Jagadisha Hare Jaya Jagadisha Hare Jaya Jagadisha Hare Tavakara Kamaravare Nakam Adbhuta Shringam Dalita Hiranyakashipu Tanubringa Keshavadrita Narahari Rupa Jaya Jagadisha Hare Jaya Jagadisha Hare Jaya Jagadisha Hare Keshavadrita Narahari Rupa Jaya Jagadisha Hare Jaya Jagadisha Hare Jaya Jagadisha Hare Narasimhare, Narasimhare, Jaya Narasimhare. Jaya Prahlad Maharaj, Jaya Prahlad Maharaj, Jaya Prahlad Maharaj, Jaya Prahlad Maharaj. Jai Bhagavan Nrsimhadev ki, Jai Prahlad Maharaj ki, Jai. Hare Krishna.
तुलसी देव्याय प्रियाय केशवाशी च प्रतिदेवी सत्यवत्यै नमो नमः वृंदाय तुलसी देव्याय प्रियाय केशवाशी च विष्णु भक्ति प्रतिदेवी सत्यवत्यै की जय। नमो नमः तुलसी कृष्ण प्रेयसी नमो नमः तुलसी कृष्ण प्रेयसी नमो नमः ब्रजे राधा कृष्ण सेवा पाबो এই অভিলাষী রাধা নমো নমঃ তুলসী কৃষ্ণ প্রেয়সী নমো নমঃ যে তোমার শরণ লয় তার বাঞ্ছা পূর্ণ হয় যে তোমার কৃপা করে করো তারে বৃন্দাবনবাসী নমো নমঃ তুলসী কৃষ্ণ প্রেয়সী নমো নমঃ মোরে অভিলাষ বিলাস কুঞ্জে দিও বাস মোরে নয়নে হেরিব সদা যুগল রূপরাশি এই নিবেদন ধরো সখীর অনুগত করো এই সেবাধিকার দিয়ে করো নিজ দাসী দীন কৃষ্ণ দাসে কয় সদা শেখায় যেন মোর হয় শ্রী রাধা গোবিন্দ প্রেমে সদা যেন ভাসি শ্রী রাধা গোবিন্দ প্রেমে সদা যেন ভাসি यानि कानि च पापानि ब्रह्म हत्यादिकानि च तानि तानि प्रणश्यन्ति प्रदक्षिण पदे पदे यानि कानि च पापानि ब्रह्म हत्यादिकानि च तानि तानि प्रणश्यन्ति प्रदक्षिण पदे पदे यानि कानि च पापानि ब्रह्म हत्यादिकानि च तानि तानि प्रणश्यन्ति प्रदक्षिण पदे पदे Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. जय तुलसी महारानी जय वृंदे देवी जय तुलसी महारानी जय वृंदे देवी जय वृंदे जय वृंदे जय वृंदे जय श्री वृंदे जय जय प्रभुपाद 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 जय जय प्रभुपाद निताय गौर हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल निताय गौर हरि बोल तुलसी महारानी की जय। वृंदाय तुलसी देव्यै प्रियाय केशवाश्य च विष्णु भक्ति प्रदे देवी सत्यवत्यै नमो नमः वृंदाय तुलसी देव्यै प्रियाय केशवाश्य च विष्णु भक्ति प्रदे देवी सत्यवत्यै नमो नमः वृंदाय तुलसी देव्यै प्रियाय केशवाश्य च विष्णु भक्ति प्रदे देवी सत्यवत्यै नमो नमः तुलसी महारानी की शिला प्रभुपाद की निताय गौर प्रेमानंदे हरि हरि बोल।
O Tulsi, beloved of Krishna, I bow before you again and again. My desire is to obtain the service of Shri Shri Radha Krishna. Whoever takes shelter of you has wishes fulfilled. Besting your mercy on him, you make him resident of Vrindavan. My desire is that you also grant me resident in the pleasure grove of Shri Vrindavan Dham. Thus, within my vision, I will always behold the beautiful pastime of Radha and Krishna. I beg you to make me follower of cowherd damsels of Braja. Please give me a privilege of devotional service and make me your own maid servant. This very fallen and lonely servant of Krishna prays, may I always swim in the love of Shri Shri Radha Govinda. Tulsi Maharani ki jai. 10 offenses against the holy name are as follow. 1. To blaspheme the devotee who have dedicated their lives propagating the holy name of the Lord. 2. To consider the names of demigods like Lord Shiva or Lord Brahma to be equal to or independent of the name of Lord Vishnu. 3. To disobey the orders of spiritual master. 4. To blaspheme the Vedic literature or literature in pursuance of Vedic version. 5. To consider the glories of chanting Hare Krishna as imagination. 6. To give some interpretation on the holy name of the Lord. 7. To commit sinful activities on strength of the holy name of the Lord. 8. To consider chanting of Hare Krishna as one of the auspicious logistic activities which are offered in Vedas as fruitive activities, karma, kanda. 9. To instruct a faithless person about the glories of holy name. 10. Do not have complete faith in chanting of holy names and to maintain material attachments even after understanding so many instructions on this matter. It is also an offense to be inattentive while chanting. Every devotee who claims to be a Vaishnava must guard against these offenses in order to quickly achieve the desired success. Krishna Prema. Now let us offer our respectful obeisances unto all Vaishnava devotees of the Lord. They are just like a desired tree who can fulfill the desires of everyone. They are full of compassion for the fallen conditioned soul. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhu evacha patitanam pavnebhyo Vaishnavbhyo namo namah. Anant Koti Vaishnav Vrinda ki jai. Ki jai. Tinadipi sunichena tarorapi sa vishnunam manina mandena kirtaniya sada hari. One should chant the holy name of the Lord in a humble state of mind, thinking oneself lower than the straw in the street. One should be more tolerant than a tree and devoid of all sense of false prestige and should be ready to respect offer to others. In such a state of mind, one should chant the holy name of the Lord constantly. Prabhupada ji ki jai.
Adipurusha Tamaham Bhajami Govindam Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindam Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami Enam Kanvandam Maravindanalaya Taksham Bharavatam Samasitam Buddhasundarangam Nandar Agom Vidamaniya Vishesha Shobha Govindam Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindam Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindam Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami Andaniya Sakale Priya Priti Manti Vasyan Divan Vikayanti Giram Naganti Ananda Chinmaya Sadhu Jala Vigrahasya Govindam Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami 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 Govindam
Jaya Radha Madhava Kunjavi Hari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunjavi Jaya Radha Madhava Kunjavi Hari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunjavi Hari Gopijana Vallabha Girivardhari Gopijana Vallabha Girivardhari Gopijana Vallabha Girivardhari Girivardhari Jasodanandana Brajajanranjana Dana Brajajana Jasodanandana Brajajanranjana Jamanatira Vanachadi Jamunatira Vanachadi Jaya Radha Madhava Kunjavi Hari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunjavi Hari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunjavi Hari Radha Madhava Kunjavi Gopijana Badhava Girivardhari Pijana Badhava Girivardhari Gopijana Badhava Girivardhari Gopijana Badhava Girivardhari Jasodanandana Brajajanranjana Jasodanandana Brajajanranjana Yamunatira Vanachari Jamunatira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunjavi Hari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunjavi Hari Jayam Vishnupad Paramahansa Parivijagacharya Astatar Satyasi Simad His Divine Grace Sri Bhaktivedanta Swami Shri Prabhupada Ki Ananta Koti Vaishnavrinda Ki Grantharaj Srimad Bhagavatam Ki Gora Premanandi. Reading from Canto 1, Chapter 1, Text number 3. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Narayanam Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Udirayat Nigamakalpataror Gaditam Palam Shukamukhad Amrita Drava Samyutam Pibata Bhagavatam Rasam Alayam Mahor Aho Rasika Bhuvi Bhavukah. Someone else? Nigamakalpataror Gaditam Padam Sukha Mukhad Amrita Drava Samyutam Bhagavatam Rasam Alayam Muhoraho Rasika Bhuvi Bhavukah. Nigamakalpataror Gaditam Padam Pibata Bhagavatam Rasam Alayam Mahor Aho Rasika. Premananda. Nigamakalpataror Gaditam Padam Sukhamukhad Amrita Drava Samyutam Pibata Bhagavatam Rasam Alayam Oho Aho Rasika Bhuvi Bhavukah. Nigamakalpataror Gaditam Padam Shukamukhad Amrita Drava Samyutam Pibata Bhagavatam Rasam Alayam Mahor Aho Rasika Bhuvi Bhavukah. Nigama, the Vedic literatures. Kalpataro, the desire tree. Galitam, fully matured. Palam, fruit. Shukha, Srila Shukadev Goswami, the original speaker of Srimad Bhagavatam. Mukhat, from the lips of. Amrita, nectar. Drava, semi-solid and soft, and therefore easily swallowable. Samyutam, perfect in all respects. Pibata, do relish it. Bhagavatam, the book dealing in the science of the eternal relation with the Lord. Rasam, juice, that which is relishable. Alayam, until liberation, or even in a liberated condition. Muhu, always. Aho, oh. Rasika, those who are full in the knowledge of mellows. Bhuvi, on the earth. Bhavukah, expert and thoughtful. Translation, oh, expert and thoughtful men and ladies too. Relish Srimad Bhagavatam, the mature fruit of the desire tree of the Vedic literatures. It emanated from the lips of Sri Shukadev Goswami. Therefore, this fruit has become even more tasteful, although its nectarian juice was already relishable for all, including liberated souls, purport. In the previous two shlokas, it has been definitely proved that the Srimad Bhagavatam is the sublime literature which surpasses all other Vedic scriptures due to its transcendental qualities. It is transcendental to all mundane activities and mundane knowledge in this shloka it is stated that Srimad Bhagavatam is not only a superior literature, but it is the ripened fruit of all Vedic literatures. In other words, it is the cream of all Vedic knowledge. Considering all this, patient and submissive hearing is definitely essential. With great respect and attention, one should receive the message and lessons imparted by the Srimad Bhagavatam. I can't help it as I'm reading this, picturing Srila Prabhupada sitting in his little room there in Radha Damodar temple, preaching to the world, introducing them. What a vision. Phew. The Vedas are compared to the desire tree because they contain all things knowable by man. They deal with mundane necessities as well as spiritual realization. The Vedas contain regulated principles of knowledge covering social, political, religious, economic, military, medical, medicinal, chemical, physical, and metaphysical subject matter, and all that may be necessary to keep the body and soul together. Above and beyond all this are specific directions for spiritual realization. Regulated knowledge involves a gradual raising of the living entity to the spiritual platform, and the highest spiritual realization is knowledge that the personality of Godhead is a reservoir of all spiritual tastes, or rasas, paragraph. Every living entity, beginning from Brahma, the firstborn living being within the material world, down to the insignificant ant, desires to relish some sort of taste derived from sense perceptions. These sensual pleasures are technically called rasas. Such rasas are different varieties. In the revealed scriptures, the following 12 varieties of rasas are enumerated: Raudra, or anger; Adbhuta, wonder; Shringara, conjugal love; Hasya, comedy; Vira, chivalry. That's 5. Daya, mercy; Dasya, servitorship; Sakya, fraternity; Bhayanaka, horror; and 10, Bibhatsa, shock. That's 10. Shanta, neutrality; Vatsalya, parenthood. Twelve varieties of rasas. The sum total of all these rasas is called affection, or love. Primarily, such signs of love are manifested in adoration, service, friendship, parental affection, and conjugal love. And when these 5 are absent, love is present indirectly in anger, wonder, comedy, chivalry, fear, shock, and so on. For example, when a man is in love with a woman, the rasa is called conjugal love. But when such love affairs are disturbed, there may be wonder, anger, shock, or even horror. Sometimes love affairs between 2 persons culminates in ghastly murder scenes. Such rasas are displayed between man and man, and between animal and animal. There's no possibility of an exchange of rasa between a man and an animal, or between man and any other species of living beings within the material world. The rasas are exchanged between members of the same species. But as far as spirit souls are concerned, they are one qualitatively with the Supreme Lord. Therefore, the rasas were originally exchanged between the spiritual living being and the spiritual whole, the Supreme Personality Godhead. The spiritual exchange, or rasa, is fully exhibited in spiritual existence between living beings and the Supreme Lord. Paragraph. The Supreme Personality of Godhead is therefore described in the Shruti mantras, Vedic hymns, as the fountainhead of all rasas. When one associates with the Supreme Lord and exchanges one's constitutional rasa with the Lord, then the living being is actually happy. There's a nice definition of happiness. These Shruti mantras indicate that every living being has its constitutional position, which is endowed with a particular type of rasa to be exchanged with the personality of Godhead. In the liberated condition, only this primary rasa is experienced in full. In the material existence, the rasa is experienced in the perverted form, which is temporary. And thus the rasas of the material world are exhibited in the material form of anger, raudra, and so on. 2 more paragraphs and we'll end. Therefore, one who attains full knowledge of these different rasas, which are the basic principles of activities, can understand the false representations of the original rasas, which are reflected in the material world. The learned scholar seeks to relish the real rasa in the spiritual form. In the beginning, he desires to become one with the Supreme. Thus, less intelligent transcendentalists cannot go beyond this conception of becoming one with the superior whole without knowing the difference rasas. In this sloka, it is definitely stated that spiritual rasa, which is relished even in the liberated stage, can be experienced in the literature of Srimad Bhagavatam due to its being the ripened fruit of all Vedic knowledge. By submissively hearing this transcendental literature, one can attain the full pleasure of his heart's desire, but one must be very careful to hear the message from the right source. Srimad Bhagavatam is exactly received from the right source. It was brought by Narada Muni from the spiritual world and given to his disciple Sri Vyasadeva. The latter in turn delivered the message to his son Shukadeva Goswami, and Srila Shukadeva Goswami delivered the message to Maharaj Parikshit just 7 days before the king's death. Srila Shukadeva Goswami was a liberated soul from his very birth. He was liberated even in the womb of his mother, and he did not undergo any sort of spiritual training after birth. At birth, no one is qualified, neither in the mundane nor in the spiritual sense. But Sri Shukadeva Goswami, due to his being perfectly liberated soul, did not have to undergo an evolutionary process for spiritual realization. Yet, despite his being a completely liberated person, situated in the transcendental position above the three material modes, he was attracted by the transcendental rasa of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is adored by liberated souls who sing Vedic hymns. The Supreme Lord's pastimes are more attractive to liberated souls than to mundane people. He is, of necessity, not impersonal because it is only possible to carry on transcendental rasa with a person. Etc. Just this morning I was listening to Srila Prabhupada speaking on this verse in somewhere, Caracas, I think. And he made a different set of points. A very specific point was the sweetness of a ripened fruit. And his point was that when a fruit is ripened on the tree, it's sweeter than if you pick the fruit and artificially let it ripen off the tree. So grow your own fruits and wait till they're ripe on the tree, and then, they advertise fresh fruit, but who knows? So it's the sweetness is part of the maturing of the fruit, and taken directly from the ripened fruit from the tree, it's the sweetest possible of all the fruits that come from the tree that are not yet fully ripened on the tree. And to make it even nicer, Shukadev Goswami narrated it in explanation. I've heard this many times besides this morning. The beak of a parrot, before he pierces the fruit, softens the fruit with his beak, and then he enters his beak and draws the juice from the fruit right on the tree. So as the parrot Shuka has that capacity, similarly that Shukadev Goswami spoke first, the Srimad Bhagavatam makes it even more, the ripened fruit even more relishable. That's the explanation that Prabhupada gives about the importance of Shukadev Goswami being the speaker. The verse itself addresses Shukadev Goswami as a rasika, or a relisher of rasa. And because he is a relisher of rasa, one who hears from him, even if one doesn't clearly understand what rasa is and how to relish rasa, it comes across from his narration. And therefore hearing from the right source becomes important, because the sweetness, just like you buy fruits in the market and they're still hard. They do what they do, gas them or whatever they do to make them artificially ripened, but the sweetness isn't the same. Not so with Srimad Bhagavatam. No, back to what Prabhupada is writing here. The Vedas as a desire tree, commonly the explanation of a desire tree is desire tree fulfills all desires. Commonly, one tree produces one type of fruit. Peach tree, apple tree, pear tree, cherry tree, whatever the type of tree, it produces that type of fruit. And the Vedic desire tree produces all types of fruits because it's a desire tree. So trees produce fruits. Desire tree of the Vedas produces all types of fruits, and he makes this nice list. It's a detail, but here's a detail. The Vedas means specifically the breathing of Lord Narayana. So that which comes directly from the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Narayana. Not even that specifically, not even that he spoke it, he just breathed it. And then those that had the capacity, like Lord Brahma, to receive that breathing, then he manifested the Vedas from his mouths. Lord Brahma. The 4 Vedas from his 4 mouths, it's said, but actually the original Veda was one. And so it's a detail. But Jiva Goswami assesses carefully, there are literatures that are considered to be Vedic that are not directly the breathing of Lord Narayana. And he takes as an example, this is from Tattva-sandarbha, or Sarva-sambhadani, his introduction to Tattva-sandarbha, that literatures such as medical literatures, Radha gave a brilliant, as everything he does is brilliant, lecture on a paper that he's been producing over several years covering this topic, what's Vedic? And according to Jiva Goswami, there's the clear and then there's the connected to that which is clear. It's a detail, but I'll just say a little bit of what he said because I can't say it the way he said it. Even during Jiva Goswami's time, medical science was, the Vedic presentation of medical science, the Ayurveda, was undergoing transformation. How can something that's eternal undergo transformation? It's a very nice topic, those of you that are interested. Did I forward that to you? So you can forward that to others so they can, it's very interesting. Why I'm going into this is the Vedas covers all these different topics. So Prabhupada didn't do what Radhikaraman is doing in this paper he's planning to publish. But in Jiva Goswami's explanation, just keeping it simple, Ayurveda is Veda. But there's a detail about Ayurveda being Vedic that may be interesting for some people to understand because it involves a principle. What's Vedic? That's the principle. And how to understand, this nice fancy word hermeneutics, how to properly understand the text of the Vedas. We're fallible beings. One of the premises, that's why we need the Vedas, because the Vedas are infallible. We're fallible. So how do you take the infallible if you're fallible? Good luck. There's likely to be not complete or proper understanding. It's a good question. It's a natural question. I've been asked that question in different ways at different times. The methodology is from one who is the deliverer of the Vedas, that is the representative of the Vedas, the disciplic succession method, and then hearing again as a qualified person, as Srila Prabhupada would do. He would repeat things, certain points, again and again and again and again, with the explanation that sometimes repetition is necessary for clear understanding, which means that I didn't clearly understand it the first time, second time, 50th time. But as I hear it again and again, purification is taking place and my capacity to understand the message becomes clearer and sharper and more in focus. So the Srimad Bhagavatam is meant to be heard again and again. And then specifically, according to this verse, with great attention. It was the previous verse. Text 2. Yeah. What is the need of any other scripture as soon as one attentively and submissively hears this message of the Bhagavatam by the culture of knowledge, the Supreme Lord is established within his heart. So the right source again and again. It's just a principle of yoga. faith in the source, the faith that the source is the right source being disciplic succession, then qualifiers of disciplic succession. Qualifiers means people that actually have realized the subject matter and live accordingly, speak and live accordingly. That's the right source. And that's an exhibition of the disciplic succession in its mature stage. So that is the capacity or the potential, the potency of hearing Srimad Bhagavatam. And the part of the purport that we read, for whatever the reason, Srila Prabhupada is emphasizing the rasa aspect because it's an essential part of the Srimad Bhagavatam. Shukadeva Goswami is a rasika devotee. The Bhagavatam is rasa-filled or rasika type of literature. Besides, it has knowledge, it has rasa, it's abundant rasa, and the hearing of it, one may not be such a qualified devotee. However, just by hearing it, that was pretty cool. How did she do that? Oh, just went around. Okay. The hearing of the Srimad Bhagavatam seriously and regularly from the right source has an impact, a spiritual effect. Besides, one can, in addition to, one can understand correctly the potential of understanding correctly many, many different subject matters. The taste, the flavor, the presence of the personality of Godhead throughout all of these descriptions is something that one can experience. Because of, just to end with this, because of the upcoming yatra, I have so much time, delightful time, being spent in the topics of the places where we're going to visit. And the first place we're going to visit is Haridwar. Haridwar is the dwara or the gate for Hari, Hari's abode. It's a place of liberation. It's at the foothills of the Himalayas. And it's symbolic in one sense, and it's literal in another sense. It's the gateway to Hari's Dham. And similarly, going further up and further up and further up the Himalayas is Badrinath, and Badrinath is one of the 4 Char Dhams, similarly give entrance into the spiritual realm. Yet, the personalities who frequented these places and their wonderful pastimes, etc., 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 much of it has to do with worldly stuff. Not everything, but much of it has to do with worldly. A poor person is giving up the worldly stuff. Like a Jamila after he was rescued by the Vishnu Dutas. He went to Haridwar and underwent austerities for a long time. Or Dhritarashtra, at the prompting of his younger brother Vidura, he left for the North Country and engaged himself in such a way that he gave up his worldliness, but etc., 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 etc. The place of the Saptarishis. Saptarishis they're appointed for each of the 14 manus. Each day of Brahma there's 14 manus and there's a different set. of Saptarishis. In Manu's, one of the important functions of Manu is establish laws of mankind. And then he needs some assistance to help oversee the upholding. And from the Brahminical, not Kshatriya position, he takes the help of the Saptarishis. Their function is to uphold Varnashram, or the duties of mankind. Then ultimately transcended, same as what's being presented in this purport. There's many, many, many subject matters in the Vedas, and the purpose of all those subject matters in the Vedas has its thread. The thread is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And it may not be so evident because the topic may seem to be politics or something, or mystic powers or something. However, those somethings and somethings have a thread, and they point to the ultimate purpose of the whole Srimad Bhagavatam, which is the ultimate purpose of the human form of life, or the ultimate purpose of the Vedas, which is establishing one's connection with Krishna. It's really easy. Like, you don't even have to think about it. It's so easy to get lost in the forest of details and details and details, and this puzzle piece and that puzzle piece, and fit that puzzle piece together with that puzzle piece. I was watching one parent during one class, he had his little boy putting puzzle pieces together. The little boy was absorbed in the puzzle pieces. How does this fit with that? Fit with the other thing? And then finally comes the big picture. And it's easy to get lost in the details of how puzzle pieces fit together. Like, the information that's provided in the Bhagavatam, it's overwhelming. The limit knows no limit. And then this detail, if it's not in the Bhagavatam, it's found somewhere else, and found somewhere else, and found somewhere else. And it's easy to get lost in the detail. It's attractive, and it's fascinating, and it helps to capture the mind. That's nice, capture the mind. But what's the purpose of capturing the mind? I'll share a detail, and then I'll end. In Haridwar, this is an example. In Haridwar, there is a place where Kapila Dev underwent austerities. Kapila Dev underwent austerities. Now, it's in the Bhagavatam. Kapila Dev's an incarnation of the personality of Godhead. But there were other places that Kapila underwent austerities. So I spent some time putting the puzzle pieces together. The ultimate, there's details and details, but the purpose of the details is what? Not just so you figured out the puzzle, and now you got the puzzle figured out. But it's attraction to the personality of Godhead. All the 10 topics of the Bhagavatam have the summum bonum. And before the summum bonum is moksha. And Haridwar is a place where there's moksha. So Kapila didn't need to achieve moksha, but he went. It's the description of the Bhagavatam is, after he completed giving the entire narration to Devahuti, which is in the 3rd canto, he left. He left the ashram of his father, And according to the verse of the Bhagavatam, he headed northeast, which gives some indication of where the ashram of his father was. Doesn't specify, but he went to Haridwar and underwent austerities. He didn't need to undergo austerities, but he underwent austerities. And after some time, he left there. He went to Ganga Sagara. He followed the path of the Ganges, because the Ganges flows down through the Himalayas, and he followed the path of the Ganges and went to where the Ganges meets the sea, which is Ganga Sagara. And he made some residence there for some time. Ganga provided him facility, according to the Bhagavatam, and he stayed there for some time, undergoing austerities. And then from there, he went to, it's a detail, but according to Brihat Bhagavatamrita, he went to Atala Loka. According to Vishnu Purana, he went to Patala Loka, which is the bottommost planet in the universe. And there he lives. And that's where the sons of Sagara found him and thought he had stolen the horse, and all of that happened. It's in Ramayana, it's in the Bhagavatam. So that, it took a while to piece all that together. The puzzle pieces fit. Besides like nailing the details of the puzzle pieces and how the puzzle pieces fit together, because it wasn't clear. So what the purpose of clarity is what? Not just the puzzle pieces fit, but the purpose is one should bear in mind, why read Srimad Bhagavatam? Why acquire knowledge? Why go to college, or why get a job, or why do anything? What's the purpose? There's the material, but the ripened fruit is right in the Srimad Bhagavatam. Its essence is being presented. To have an understanding, the purpose of any dharma is to understand God, and that which claims to be dharma but doesn't give that realization or understanding of the personality of Godhead it's not religion, it's not dharma. And the ripened fruit of all of that is the Supreme Personality of Godhead in his spiritual abode. And he reveals his spiritual abode in the 10th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. But to get a proper understanding of the 10th canto Bhagavatam, the other cantos are there, because the Bhagavatam is not just 10th canto. The Bhagavatam is all the different parts, because all the different parts is part of the ripened fruit of the desire tree. The Bhagavatam is such nice literature. Nothing better. We'll be spending some time in the evening classes discussing. How important it is for us to receive, to hear, chant, and remember, and to give others the opportunity to hear, chant, remember, because it's not just about our edification or elevation, it's pleasing Krishna, which is that all living entities should have the opportunity, at least, they can say no, but let them at least have the opportunity to say yes or no through the medium of Srimad Bhagavatam. So let's see if there's some discussion.
Hare Krishna Maharaj. So the purpose of study of Vedic literature or any spiritual, the purpose of the study of Vedic literature or any spiritual practice, as you said, is ultimately to develop love for Krishna.
Yes.
And you just mentioned that some of these people go to Haridwar or such places. May not be just exactly that.
They do what?
May not be. They are going there for various other reasons too.
Yes.
And yet, there is something sacred about the Himalayas, whether it is Haridwar or beyond.
Yeah, the Dhams have their transcendence. We talked a little bit about this yesterday.
Yeah. I mean, it's not Vrindavan where Krishna performed his pastimes, but those personalities who go there, there is something, like Pandavas, they went there towards the end of their life.
They did.
You could go somewhere else, so. But still, it feels something different going up the Himalayas, just to the thought of it.
We'll find out. I've never been there. So.
No, I was just wondering, there has to be some, even if one may not, I mean, even the other personalities who may have different purpose, but the place has got something. It's yeah.
So you're making a statement, and I agree with the statement. You're not asking a question, you're just making an observation and appreciation of such a holy Dham as these places. And that's one of the reasons why we go. I mean, where we go, there's going to be accommodation places, they're making money. There's going to be transportation places, they're making money. There's going to be all kinds of other people without listing the other kinds of people. They go there for livelihood. They're not necessarily going there or living there and doing what they do because it's a holy place. Some people may have that kind of a mix.
Yeah.
But some people it's just, it's like, we're going to take a helicopter. Some of us are going to take a helicopter ride. It's really expensive. It's livelihood. So, it's okay. It's okay. They're taking care of pilgrims. And there's, something in their pocket at the same time. It's okay. Then there are persons that don't go there with that purpose. Some persons that stay there. Some persons that like Kapila, he's already liberated. He's an incarnation. He gave the whole Sankhya philosophy. Now he's going to go do austerities. For different purposes, for different persons. But back to your main point. There's purification regardless of where somebody is coming from and their agenda. It's purifying because of the nature of the place. And that's to be appreciated. So someone else? Yes.
Hare Krishna Maharaj. Maharaj, you mentioned that Kapila Dev, he was the incarnation of Supreme Lord and he didn't have to go through those austerities. Still he went through those austerities. So what is he trying to teach us through that, by doing that, basically?
Why does a liberated person, what to speak of a Supreme Person, do anything? Because they don't need to do anything. So they could do nothing. So if they do something, what's the purpose behind that something? Yad Yadacharati Shrestha, teaching by example. It's not to get something, it's to give something. Give an example. Anything else? Behind you?
Just a lot of appreciation, Maharaj, for how at the very beginning of the Bhagavatam, at the outset, Srila Vyasadeva is training the reader, and Prabhupada's elaborate purport, so deep, so rich. Even from a mundane perspective, the psychological nuances presented in his purport are so enlightening. The appreciation is how Vyasadeva is teaching us to enter, and you elaborated very beautifully on when we are reading the Bhagavatam, what is meant to be received is the rasa, that's the main thing to get out of it, not to get more knowledge or any of that, which certainly comes, but it's the rasa is the essence of all of this. So just that lesson was powerful in today's class. As a comment, I'm actually currently studying the last chapter of the last canto right now, 12th, and I'm noticing how the first 3 verses Vyasadeva speaks. That's his words. And then he introduces Sutta Goswami coming to the assembly of Naimisharanya. And then he doesn't say anything as an independent speaker. It is all the conversation between Sutta Goswami and the sages of Naimisharanya, all the way till the end. It's just an observation. If you had any comment on that.
Well, only the obvious. He's a literary incarnation. He's Krishna, Shaktivesh avatar, empowered by Krishna to do what he did. And he could have done this, he could have done that. No second guessing needed. He did what he did to fulfill Krishna's will. And part of the all-attractiveness of what you just described is he's taking the focus off himself and he's putting the focus on other instruments besides himself, which is in itself a lesson. Part of the lesson of, within the lesson of the whole Srimad Bhagavatam. The presentation, following that statement, the presentation of Srimad Bhagavatam is for persons in this age of Kali. When darkness is abundant and light is diminished radically. So how to give light in an atmosphere that's simply darkness. So different ways of doing that. So he chose by being an empowered incarnation of the Supreme Lord to do the way that he did. That teaches in principle, maybe not explicitly but implicitly, how we can do the same. For example, this temple and many temples all over the ISKCON are very much absorbed this month, or this, after Janmashtami in particular, absorbed in making Srimad Bhagavatam available as widely as possible. And what's the message? It's Vyasadeva's composition. We're little instruments and just doing our part. But part of doing our part means we are also benefiting by remembering its message and speaking its message and reminding other people of its message and relishing this and relishing that. So the rasa aspect is being fulfilled by the very rendering of the book itself. That's just an embellishment on what you said. Last question, you're going to end?
This is a reflection, Guru Maharaj. In the beginning, you were expressing how you cannot help but envision Srila Prabhupada sitting in those rooms in Radha Damodar and writing.
Yes, yes.
And I wanted to appreciate last year in the Udupi Yatra, you were mentioning how it's extremely important for the next generation to get to know Srila Prabhupada in order for the legacy to continue.
Yeah.
And you were referring to the Lilamrita. And so I was inspired by that and started rereading, this time with my children, Lilamrita. And a year later, my appreciation for this particular canto, having again visited those scenes from the Lilamrita of Prabhupada, the gravity of what he wanted to bring forth. Now, this literature is so much more meaningful because of, just more familiarity with that part of Srila Prabhupada's life. Just wanted to appreciate it.
Responding to this, and we'll end. A number of devotees went to St. Louis to participate in their 50th anniversary celebration of the installing of the deities, the Gornatai deities. And I hadn't heard the story of the devotee who established that temple and the deities before. And amazing, filled with adventure, filled with challenges, not being disturbed by the challenges, just dedicated to being the servant of Srila Prabhupada. It just reminded me, I'm just reflecting. We're in a position where we already have something like what Premananda was saying during Vyasa Puja, or what Ruttama's homage was saying during Vyasa Puja. We have abundance. But our mission is far from complete. And when abundance comes, how is it to be utilized? And where does the credit go? And any austerities for us, please? Just before leaving St. Louis, one couple came up and shared. They've been living in St. Louis for 17 years with the Knights Association, and now they have to leave because the company they work for has their headquarters in Louisiana, and they're not allowing people to work remotely anymore, so they have to move to Louisiana. There's no devotee association. And it was like the bell is ringing, every town and village. It's not easy. Are they up for the challenge? Let's see. Does not guarantee, because they got some encouragement, to develop Sangha. But if those with little courage and the Sangha that they've already received, they can carry forward and establish another Sangha. So the ways of the propagation of the message of Srimad Bhagavatam, and is the life of living Srimad Bhagavatam, has different curious manifestations. We all have our part to play. Even today, here in Naperville, we don't have to go to Louisiana. There's lots of people that don't know, not interested, out to lunch, and so forth. Materially immersed in La La Land. And that's our, that audience is part of our audience. Certainly pious people. And, some of those pious people, they move very quickly. Some people move very slowly. We have a work ahead of us, and don't rest on the laurels or the benefits that have been just handed to us. They're these Bhagavatams are just handed to us. How much work went into preparing, even, aside from Prabhupada's work, all the composers and artists and printers and this and that, and there it is in the box. But it's not over. So, Bhagavatam is wonderful. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.